Hey friends, you're watching BrainStormAcres. I'm Henry.
And I'm Irene.
We have all manner of pests that come visit us on our homestead, not the least of which is deer. Now, if you watched us last winter, you know that we had 2 bucks jumping our fence and getting into the pots that we had outside and some peas that we had growing and a bunch of other things.
We didn't have any pots last fall. Over here. We had them over there.
Over there.
They ate the tops of the sweet potatoes.
Yeah, nasty deer. Mm-hmm. Now, a lot of places you can use various deterrents. You can spray things that smell bad to them and things like that. But unfortunately, because we live in the high desert of northern Arizona at about 1 mile high, a lot of times the deer go hungry and they get thirsty. So they come to try to raid. Nothing that we've tried for baits or anything like that has actually stopped any of them.
Yeah, they could care less. You know, the whole use mountain lion urine or something like that. We have mountain lions around here, you know. We have bobcats around here. They don't care about any of that stuff. It's just like not on their list of things to worry about because they're hungry. And I feel sorry for them. But that doesn't mean I want them to eat my garden.
So they came in and they ate the tops of potato plants. They ate some...
They ate some of the rhubarb leaves.
So they eat a lot of oxalic acid.
Right. I mean, things that they would normally avoid. No, they're not avoiding them. They'll just go for everything.
So we're going back to some basics about how deer behave and how their visual system, their eyes work.
Right. The general theory is that in order to keep deer out with a single fence, it's got to be 10 feet high.
Yeah.
Now, they had trouble, and that may be true some places where they're really good jumpers, but I tell you what, our deer are pretty crappy jumpers here. They really are. They were hitting the top of a 4-foot fence hard, really hard, to the point where they bent the tops of the fence down in several spots. So they're not used to having to jump, you know. And these guys are kind of big and clunky, to be honest. They're not, I don't think of them as particularly agile in comparison to deer that I've been around other places. But putting up a 10-foot fence would be just really too big a project. I can't imagine what kind of poles we'd have to put in order to do that.
And it takes special permits from the county, takes special permits from the state.
Right, they don't want you doing that kind of stuff.
We're not interested.
But you can make them think that you have a 10-foot fence, or at least a higher fence. And as we're going to show you in the video, that's exactly what we did.
Now, we've been following another channel for a large number of years. That's Cog Hill Farm. And Jason put up similar kinds of flags that we've put up. In fact, we got the idea of the flags from him.
Yeah, and as he said, you know, people are like, oh, well, it doesn't work for me or something. And I'm like, well, how are you using them? If you look at the way he's got the flags up, you've got the 4-foot fence, and then he's got poles that come up. So the deer are seeing the 4-foot fence, and then they're seeing something above it. They don't sit there and go, oh, if I do this Fosberg flop as if I was a pole vaulter, I could throw myself sideways between the top of that fence, and that's not the way their heads work. So they just see something that they can't get through. So for most deer, at least in our area, it looks like, so far, knock on wood, it has worked. They have not been over the fence. In fact, they haven't actually been close enough to be even seen by the cameras. Now, that may just mean they're not right here right now.
But they've been here. They have been
here, definitely. So we've got the flags up now.
And we're doing one more thing.
Yeah.
So deer have eyes mounted on the side of their head. So they don't have real good vision looking forward to judge for depth perception. So we're putting another fence up.
Right. And actually, I was joking with Henry because I noticed that they never came in through the sections that were really rocky. So there's a couple of spots where we had some large volcanic rock stored that the people who owned the place before us had just dumped there. And they never come in through the section with the cement blocks in the way either. I told them we should just take the cement blocks and lay them with the holes up for about 8 feet out from the fence, because they're not antelope and they're not mountain goats. they don't like dealing with that kind of terrain because their feet are not designed for it. So technically, that would probably actually work. We just decided that would be also crazy. So,
So we're busy putting up an electric fence. The posts are all pounded in. The insulators are on. We'll be putting up the tape probably today or tomorrow morning. Mm-hmm. We're also going to take you along on some other things that were going on while I was busy pounding posts. Irene was busy dealing with some flagstone. I helped. We did some sifting of sand together to get the rocks out. So come along. It was an interesting day. I'll come help.
okay. I decided that I would screen all the stuff that came before I went back in because it means less rocks. And it does make it easier when you're leveling. Not as easy as it works.
Easier all the way around.
Uh-huh.
Okay, I'll go put this over there. In the big pile that needs to go away.
Well, I suspect we'll actually redo some of that stuff because now that it's gotten damp, we'll be able to properly screen some of it. And I don't mind some clay in there.
Where'd it come from?
Cabbage from the greenhouse.
Awesome.
There's 2 left in there, and I've been holding this one as long as I can, and I'm starting to lose outside leaves, so time to get this guy out. Just trying to get him. You know, my problem is I'm holding them too long.
Coleslaw for lunch.
Sure.
Okay.
Yeah.
How's the Flagstone going?
Okay. Okay. You know, it's you know, you're piecing stuff together, so it's a challenge. But I've got a couple of good chunks in place, which is what I was looking for. I look for big pieces right in front of the door, so I don't have a lot of patchy stuff. So you're less likely to have stuff tilting and kicking up and creating toe stops. So temperatures dropped like a rock because of the sun.
It's nice.
Feels great.
Okay.
I can tell the humidity's up today.
I have one more section of fence post to go in,
Okay.
and then we'll start putting on the insulators,
Okay.
and we can put up the piece of tape.
Do we need to? Are you going to do anything over there, or are you going to wing it for now over
No,
there?
I will put up 2 more posts over there.
Okay.
And then I need to put up posts on that side. I don't know that we need to put any up here.
I don't know. They haven't come over here much. I won't say never, but
I don't really have much space where I can do anything
yeah.
because
Well, the problem
of
is we really don't want to cut the
tractor.
tree.
No. Well, I don't want to cut the tree, and I don't want to be making it so difficult for me to get the tractor in.
What I'm going to do is fill in this more level here. Probably move this over there, but I'm going to do some measuring first. I want to try and get this solid as possible right here. This is very pieced because it was done later. After the initial piece was done. So I don't mind resetting some of that into bigger pieces, you know. And I do have some big pieces. That was a stink bug, you can tell. Because it stinks.
That was an awful lot of work today, Irene.
It was. I am really ready to change into something cooler and lay on the sofa for a while. Yeah, it's not going to happen. I know that, but it's a really nice concept at least. I'm going to transplant pole beans. I got the bed set earlier today, and I've got the poles up and the trellis up. So yeah, that'll be going to transplant the pole beans.
You know what time it is?
It is time to be sure to like, subscribe, hit that notification bell, because we have a ton going on, and there'll be greenhouse things coming up. There'll be all kinds of stuff coming up. If you have friends that are into any of the kind of things we're working on, say, hey, here's a video. You were wondering how you should do that? This is how you should do that.
Thanks very much. We'll talk with you later.
Bye.